So this is a quick, brief tutorial of how to use the Lone Buck Guitars saddle and nut sanding tool, which is a fairly common tool, fairly similar to most other designs, and the brake angle attachment that some people may buy with it. And go through a real quick instructions on how to use it. The saddle and nut sanding tool is fairly simple. You just put your this one I've got a saddle blank into. You just put that on into the inside. You use the two little screws to tighten it. These screws, there's a little plate inside that goes up and down. These screws adjust that so you can set your height, and then the little nuts on here just kind of lock it down if you need to. Then it's just a matter of just simply sanding on a piece of sandpaper that you set. Once all four wheels are touching, you got a flat 90-degree a cut. Very simple. If you bought it with the brake angle attachment, it will come to you assembled like this. If you're going to use just this tool, you're going to want to take this off. These two little screws here will kind of interfere with that vertical alignment part. So take this off and then just use these two screws and nuts to, just like I showed before. But once you've assembled it like this, what this does is allows you to set a nut at any angle you want. If you've got the nut is going above the angle, if you've got an angle headstock, sometimes the nut is past the neck and you need to sand that at an angle. When you set that up, you do kind of similar to what you do with the other. Put the nut in, clamp it in place. I always try and line this farthest corner to the bottom of the wheels. That's kind of where you want it, maybe just a little proud of that, a little farther. That'll allow you to sand all the way down. You set this using these two little screws here. This allows you to adjust and twist this at whatever angle you want. So once you've got that done and you know that angle, then you can just start sanding. When you first start, these close wheels are going to be up off the ground because it's kind of tilting the whole thing. But as you sand, it will start lowering itself down. Once these wheels are touching all the way flat, you now have an angle. Here's one I've pre-sanded that looks, see if I can get that into camera, it's a little tough, but you can see now it has that angle to it. And it's a little trial and error. Every guitar has a different angle if it has that. So what you're going to want to probably do, the way I do it myself, I use a little piece of wood the first time and do a practice piece on the wood. I cut it and sand it and see how that sits on the guitar. Once I know I've got it right, tighten that down and go at it with the regular nut. Other than that, it's a pretty simple tool. Like I said, the actual nut saddle sanding part is self-explanatory. The angle is maybe a little bit confusing, but once you try it a couple times, I think you're going to find it easy. All right, thanks.